They say winning ain't everything. Well, we don't have them type conversations over here, man. Had that conversation with the losers. We trying to win at everything we do. Even in the loss, we don't see defeat. We see a lesson learned. Straight up. Look, I came into this world in 1978. The doc looked me in my face and knew I was something great. 45, 42 Prescott, that's where I'm from. Grew up in the slums around dope dealers and bums. As humble as I was, I adapted to my habitat. In my own lane though, far from where they crashing at. Dumb bar graduate, the game I'd have mastered it. Served in the Navy, look, y'all don't know the half of it. Pops passed in 01, moms passed last year. I know they up in heaven smiling down, crying mad tears, cause they son making it. No telling where I'm taking it. My city been cursed, but I feel that I'm breaking it. Coached at Wayne High in 15 in one state. Seen the fork in the road and went straight. I know what I'm worth, I'm OG King CURT. Brooklyn Nets gaming crew legend, let's work.
Hey, welcome to the OG2CENTS podcast. I'm your host, OG King CURT. I want to thank each and every one of you who continue to tune in every Sunday. We truly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. You know, that helps us out a lot. The links are in the description for all available streaming platforms. Let's continue to stand up against any forms of social injustice and racism. And this episode is brought to you by Zenni Blocks. Make sure to armor your eyes with Zenni Blocks virtual clear blue blockers. It's important to protect your eyes from the harmful blue light from your digital screens, so you'll have less eye strain, and that makes for better sleep and performance. Check them out at zenni.com/gaming or follow them at Zenni Gaming on Twitter and Instagram. This episode is episode 47. She's a GameHER with Jess Davis, you know, and realizing that it was a lack of attention for females in the video gaming industry, she had a vision to bring awareness to females such as herself who play video games. She just founded GameHER in 2013 with the vision of creating clothing and a platform for females to unite them within the video gaming world. Jess is also the manager of youth basketball operations for the Cleveland Cavaliers and associated staff for the Cavs Legion of the NBA 2K League. Without further ado, you know, I don't like to do too much talking. Jess Davis, how you doing today?
What's up, OG? Thank you for having me. I'm honored. I'm honored to join the infamous podcast. I appreciate this.
Nah, without a doubt. Just getting right into it, I just want you to tell everybody, you know, how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Now living in Cleveland. Grew up in Stone Mountain all my life up until I went to college at Florida State. And for me, my journey has been full of following my passion. At a early age, I was introduced, I'll give you the order. So it was music, video gaming, and then basketball. And so those three things have stuck with me. I'll be 33 this year, so they've stuck with me throughout my journey. And I'll speak a little to that. So I grew up in a household where both of my parents were involved in the band. And so at an early age, my dad played in the Marching 100. At an early age, I was introduced to music, and I found a love for music just by going back to the FAMU homecomings. And I say all that to say, 6th grade, I joined the band, and I played that throughout high school. And then video gaming started at an early age. Nintendo, you remember the duck hunt, running pad, the track. So I grew up with an older brother in the house, so we had the Nintendo, and I don't know where the passion came from, but it did. And so grew up at an early age on the video games. I wasn't allowed to play all day, but I did have I had quite a bit of time on the gaming system. And then basketball, I started at 8 in the rec church league, and went through high school playing band. I was in the band and then playing basketball. And so graduating from high school, I went on to Florida State University. I did not play basketball at Florida State, and I did not march in the band at Florida State, but I did go as a student. And So that's my background on my childhood. But after graduating from Florida State, I went on, although I didn't play in college, I went on to coach college at Emory University. And so that's where I really found my meaning of what I wanted to do, which was make an impact in lives. And it happened to be through the game of basketball, teaching basketball and making an impact in the life off the court as well.
That's good. How did you end up working for the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Yeah, so I've coached basketball for basically the last 10 years. And I started at Emory University. I went on to take an internship with the Women's Basketball Coaches Association. I've coached high school boys, high school girls, AAU. And then before I was with the Cavs, I was coaching at Tennessee State. And my head coach resigned at Tennessee State. And so I was looking for a job. And I saw this job online for the Cavs. I was actually going to pass it over. I passed it over. And then someone just told me to apply. And I ended up getting it after interviewing with everyone. And so here we are today.
Wow, that's wonderful. Wonderful. Now, you also work with close to Cavs Legion. What was that like when you, like, I'm sure you working for the Cavaliers and then they get an esports team and you game, you've hooped, you've been around hoop. What was your thoughts on that initially?
I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I was really excited as someone who has been playing 2K since Dreamcast, since it first came out. I'm like, look where the world is today. We have a professional NBA 2K league. Like, if this was happening when I was coming out of college and high school, there's no doubt I would have tried out for this league. Like, that would have been my majoring in something in video gaming in college. So I just thought it was a tremendous opportunity for the people who have a chance to try out for it. I was really excited.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I'm like you. If when I was young, as much time as I put into video games now, although the difference was when it was sunlight outside, we was outside. Like, I mean, my Dukes wasn't having that. Like, yeah, I ain't about to sit up in his house, all day long. Right. But like if it was raining, snowing, of course, me being from the Midwest, then yeah, we was locked in the house. So we play the game, all day, all night. So that's one of the biggest difference. Now, owner and founder of GameHER. I mean, talk about that and everything that entails.
Yeah, so back in 2013 when I started it because I was playing NBA 2K and Madden with my homeboys, only guys, throughout really my video gaming journey. And so I'm like, there has got to be some girls out there. And at the time, social media was kind of new when it comes to like the Instagram and Facebook. You had to be in college to be on Facebook. And so I'm like, I want to connect with other females. And so that really sparked. I was sitting in the office at Emory working. I worked in our temp service as well as coach. But I was sitting in the office and I'm like, GameHER. Like, it just, I don't know how it popped in my head, but it did. And I'm like, everybody talks about gamer. So why not say GameHER? And so that's where GameHER really came from. And really, I wanted to create a platform that allowed females to connect with each other because I just knew it was more out there and I just didn't play them. So I wanted to connect, have a platform to connect females and then create a clothing line as well that gave females the empowerment to feel proud to be a video gamer. At the time, all the narratives that I hear now in 2021 about, girls not feeling proud of playing video games or, a lot of negativity with women in gaming, I didn't hear these things. I just knew my vision for creating the space. And there was nothing out there in 2013. I was out there. I remember typing in Google and I didn't find anything. So I like to say I was a little ahead of my time, right? and when you look at 2013 and to 2021, and in 2021, it's still kind of new of creating this space for women to feel empowered in gaming. So that was basically the start of GameHER. It's been a journey, but a rewarding journey from building it in 7 years.
I mean, that's normally the best ideas come to you when you really not putting a whole lot of thought into it. Like something just pops. I think the name is dope. I like the apparel. I like the logo. I consider myself a creative as many concepts as I came up with over the years, not even really, like I said, putting a whole lot of thought into it. Even with the OG2CENTS, it was just something about it. Like, I mean, and it was nothing more than like people are like, yeah, you're always putting your 2 cents and stuff in it or whatever. And I just took the OG and added to it because it was my thoughts. But I love it.
When you start thinking too much, then you start overthinking. And, at the time I wasn't even trying to like, oh, let me create something. Like, I wasn't sitting there on that. I just took what I was really passionate about and then turned some ideas into something. I've always had the entrepreneur mindset though. Even since I was a little kid, I didn't talk about that earlier, but growing up as a kid, I started with my own shoe shine company. I used to polish my neighbor's shoes, make a little money off of that. Then I created like a custom chicken wing menu. I love chicken wings. But I've always been about creating my own company and the entrepreneur mindset. So just the great timing of everything happening in my life.
No, we have a lot in common. I was the same way because my mom, she had this thing where if you wanted something that wasn't necessary, she'd be like, if you get half, I'll pay the other half. So like any and everything, I would go out and cut grass, rake leaves. And as soon as I was old enough to start working, I started working. Like and I was on it. So I've been like that myself. This upcoming week is the Women in Gaming Developmental Camp with the NBA 2K League. Just wanted to get your thoughts about it in just the entire initiative with the league and women gamers.
Yeah, I think it's phenomenal. Like I say, if this was around when I was coming out of high school and college, there's no doubt that that would have been the path I would have been on. But I just think it's phenomenal for the league to be inclusive of everyone. I say all the time, video gaming is the platform where girls and guys can be on the same team when you think about sports. When you think about other sports like WNBA, NBA, of course, everything is so separate. And video gaming is the one thing that you're sitting behind a monitor or, and so guys and girls can play together. So I think it's phenomenal how inclusive and the steps they're taking to be more inclusive of adding women, because it is women out there are women out there who game and are serious about the game. And so I just think it's a phenomenal opportunity to change young ladies' lives.
Okay. Now, when did you start playing 2K?
Yeah, so I started on Dreamcast when it first came out. What was that, 99, 2000? My neighbor had a Dreamcast. And I remember when I first saw the graphics, those graphics were everything back then for the basketball game. Going from live to then now seeing 2K come out, I'm like, I was hooked. I never had the Dreamcast. I would play on my neighbors, but that's when I started, and that was my 2K journey. And since then, I haven't turned back. All respect to EA Sports, but it's been great to see the evolution of 2K. Really, it has, and it's getting better. That's the crazy part, and I guess that just comes with technology, but. It's so nice to see the evolution of it.
Yeah. That Now, did you play NBA Live too?
I did play NBA Live. I used to kill that 3-point shootout on there. That was like the mode, the little all-star mode. I used to go crazy with Mitch Richmond. But I did play NBA Live. On the PlayStation, I was playing like Tomb Raider. What was another one of my favorite games? NBA Live was definitely one of my favorite games. What was some of yours?
I mean, I would. It's crazy because like when I first started playing games, of course, on Atari, yeah, Pac-Man, Space Invaders, Centipede,
yeah,
different games like that, and then went to Nintendo. Now, I used to play a lot of games, Contra. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Mario Brothers, all kind of games. Like I mean, Sonic as time went past. Like, I used to play multiple game titles, but I mainly stuck with the football, basketball. Those are my main 10-yard fight on Nintendo. That's old school. You got to be old school to know about that. And the one thing that was real unique about the Nintendo was after a while you had to blow the cartridge, barely push it in and tap it in.
Yeah.
But no, I enjoyed multiple game titles when I was coming up. But then once Dreamcast came out, I played the football a lot on Dreamcast.
Was that the Street? Was Street on there? Did they have NBA Street on Dreamcast? And
I don't think they may have, but if they did, I didn't
2K
play
football.
Yeah, that's what I played. I played the NFL
2K football.
And then
was it Randy Moss on the cover?
Yeah.
My bad.
Yep. No. Yeah, it was Randy Moss. And at that time I played that much all the time. But then once, like you said, once the hoop came in and the graphics was looking way better than all the other basketball games that had ever came out, I stuck with that and haven't played any other game since. It's been 2K from that point on. So it's go ahead.
That's the same for me. I'm a big sports game person. I just like the strategy behind it. You really do gain a lot of knowledge from now really playing these sports games, because it takes so much of knowing the players and knowing what their strengths and weaknesses are and really putting them in position. That's Madden and NBA 2K. But that's really putting them in position to do what they do best. And so I just love that competitive side of really trying to outsmart your opponent. You can know the glitches, but you still got to have some strategy to your game.
Okay. Now, it's your short time being introduced to the 2K League and the 2K community here and there. What are your thoughts on the NBA 2K community and the 2K League?
I think it's a fantastic opportunity. I've said it multiple times. If it was around when I was coming out, that's probably the path I would have taken, because as you alluded to, you were putting in countless of hours, and so was I. I mean, that was literally my life in college and throughout high school. Like, we're gaming all the time. I didn't go party a lot in college. I was literally playing the video game all the time. And once they got that online play, I didn't even play in the park and stuff when they first started online. I was still playing the play now mode. Like, I didn't even realize how big the park was. Like, and then once I got put on the park, it was like, oh, bye-bye, play now. and so I just think it's phenomenal that they have an opportunity, kids have an opportunity, because school isn't for everyone. College isn't for everyone. But you still don't need to be discredited if you don't go to college, because there is other opportunities like this 2K League to do something you're really good at and make a career of it. And I really do believe the gaming is our future, especially with technology growing the way it is. And so I just think it's a phenomenal opportunity for these kids to have a chance to play in the league and let alone go to college to major in video gaming and all these majors they have now. Like, that's incredible. I salute to them, because that would have definitely been my major. I was an English major, business minor, but I can guarantee you I would not have been an English major if video gaming existed when I was in college. So I think it's phenomenal.
Now, you Xbox or PS?
I'm Xbox.
Okay.
And it's only one reason, because of the controller. I don't mind the PlayStation at all. I do think this new PlayStation, and I finally just got an Xbox X, but the new PlayStation does look like a spaceship. It looks really big. So I'm gonna wait till they come out with the smaller version before I go get the PlayStation. I can't have two big systems. I don't got enough room for them.
Now, have you grinded your My Player?
I literally go pick up my Xbox X next week. So right now I have grinded on the Xbox One, which I won in a tournament. I haven't bought a system in a long time. I won the first Xbox. What was that called? Not the first Xbox, the one before the Xbox One. What was that?
Xbox 360.
Not the 360. The big.
I know what you're talking about. I actually, you know what? I still have mine, and I think I'm gonna get it bronzed because it had died on me, and then I went and got the smaller one, the S or something like that, the Xbox One S. I went and got that to hold me over, but I definitely kept that, and I'm gonna bronze it.
Yeah, I gave mine to my nephews or my brother. I don't remember who got it, but I haven't bought a system in a long time. So this was my first time really buying one. I won that one in a raffle, and then I won the Xbox One in a Madden tournament. And so spending that $400, $500 on this Xbox X, it hurt my heart a little bit. But you know, it's worth the investment.
Okay. At this moment, this is a portion of the show where I do OG Wants to Know. And it's rapid fire questions just for people to know more about you. Biggest influence?
My grandparents and parents.
What motivates you?
Life. Being able to wake up and see another day.
Favorite video game of all time?
Mario Kart.
Favorite sports team?
I don't really have one. I'm a fan of players who make plays.
Okay.
So I don't really have one.
That's the first. What favorite athlete?
Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay. Favorite actor, actress?
I'll probably say Will Smith.
Favorite actress?
Fresh Prince.
Favorite actress?
I'm not a movie person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm really not a movie person. We play video games. We don't watch movies.
Celebrity crush?
You know what? I might be one of the few people, but I really don't have a crush on a celebrity. I do love Beyonce. I love playing Beyonce while I beat guys on the video game. I like Monica too. I really love her music. Her music does something to my spirit. And her voice too. I love her voice. So I say Monica and Beyonce.
Okay. Favorite esports organization?
Cavs Legion, of course.
Okay. What would you be doing if you wasn't doing what you're doing now?
I would say a profession that involves traveling. I love to travel. I've been fortunate enough to see a lot of the world, and so something that involves traveling or playing in the NBA 2K League, and that's just real. Something in as a professional esports player.
Okay. What's next for Jess Davis?
Yeah, there are a lot of things on horizon. I just take it one day at a time and keep going, keep growing. We're living in some wild times right now. And so I just try to be the best version of myself every day, looking to grow professionally and just looking to grow my GameHER brand. I'm excited to see the growth in it. And so just looking to continue growing the brand and and that's what's on the horizon.
Okay. How can people follow you and what you do?
People could check out on www.GameHER.com. They can also go to my Instagram, GameHER. And I also have a Discord, but just getting that set up correctly so it can be more interactive and really be efficient for people that come on the Discord. And then I have a Facebook, it's GameHER LLC. So go like it and go follow on Instagram.
Gotcha. Jess, I want to thank you for coming on. It's been truly a pleasure to get to know more about you and GameHER. I just want you to keep doing what you're doing and wish you nothing but the best.
I thank you so much.
No problem. I want to thank everybody who tuned in for this episode. Just continue to follow the OG2CENTS podcast on all available streaming platforms, and that's social media as well, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Follow myself at OG King CURT, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Make sure you subscribe to my new YouTube channel, OG King CURT, where I'll be doing, reactions, a lot of different content on there. So make sure you look out for that. Shout out to my team, Schreider Visuals, Cy Evermore, Box Graphics, for all the hard work that they put in to make this show possible. Make sure you go to www.ogkingcurt.com for everything OG King CURT and the OG2CENTS podcast. Make sure you check me out on EsportsXTRA every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 7 p.m. That's with host Larry Ridley, the crew, Kelly Wells Brinkley, Antonio Williams, Derwin Roel, and producer extraordinaire Kevin Mamuzet. We're putting up the sports and esports. So make sure to check us out. Make sure you tune in to next week's episode. And remember, if it makes sense, it's an OG2CENTS. OG out.
Put this work in, fellas. And much, much, much love to the entire 2K community for always showing me love. Without y'all, we wouldn't be here. Yeah.